Welcome back. It's Wednesday. I'm Lashana Guy, and this is Good News Only, the show where we celebrate the good news only, the community and local wins that bring a little more light to your day. All of the shows are stories that lift us up and bring us together. So every weekday at 10:30 a.m., we are recapping the good news only, the community headlines, the local wins, and I want to hear from you too. So if something good is happening in your world, please send me an email to news25@wek.com and be sure to put Hey Shauna, that's SHAUNA, in the subject line so I know it's for me. I would love to share your good news right here on the show. And as always, we have lots of reasons to smile today. And we're going to start with continuing my thank yous to everyone who wished me a happy birthday. I think it's very important to show gratitude and to acknowledge when someone goes out of their way to say something to you, to wish you well. And I think some of the comments reiterate that for me. So it's important to me to let all of my friends know personally that I appreciate their time. So Denise White Rickman says, happy birthday. I hope all your birthday wishes come true. Thank you, Denise. Dave Genesis says, happy birthday. Betsy Bladale, I hope I pronounced that correctly, says, happy birthday to you. Chris Volts says happy birthday. Sandy Beck says happy birthday. And Sandy, if I'm not mistaken, Sandy follows the Good News Only Facebook page. So make sure you get on and follow the Facebook page for Good News Only. But Sandy, I got your message last night where you asked me if I was related to the guitarist Buddy Guy, and I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I can't be sure. I guess I would have to ask my parents, but they've never mentioned it. They've never mentioned relationship between us and him, or there's an actress who was in A Different World and several other things, but most famously there, Jasmine Guy. I'm not related to him, but to either of them that I know of. But the funny thing is, Buddy Guy has a daughter who is a musician, and she as well. Her and I have the exact same name, and the only difference is hers begins with an R, and mine begins with an L. And it's spelled the exact same way, and there's Guy at the end. So it was pretty creepy the first time I saw that. But no, thank you for your question, Sandy, and thank you for the birthday wish, and thank you for following Good News Only. Bruce Hawkins says happy birthday. Tina Morgan says happy birthday. Robert O., I believe I might have said him yesterday, says happy birthday. Terry Kleindest says everyone has a birthday. Yeah, he says everyone has a birthday, big deal. You are correct, Terry. Thank you for telling me. No, when's your birthday? I would love to celebrate your good news and your birthday right here on the show. Kristen Fields points out that the good news is I can celebrate however I want, and I would want nothing more than to celebrate with you, Terry, for your birthday. So then Daryl Van says happy birthday. May the day be as bright as you are. Why, Daryl? Thank you. Wilma Fenderson says happy birthday. David, is it Dam? Damm? Is that Dam? Tell me how to pronounce that, David. But anyway, David says happy birthday. Bonnie Hardman says happy birthday. David E. Knoll says happy birthday. Teresa Freeman, thank you for saying happy birthday. Marnita Brown says happy birthday. Julie Lynn says happy birthday. Crystal Avil. I've seen you like several of my reels, just kind of letting everybody know that the show is up and going on. And I just want to say thank you so much for all of your support over these last few months. Even if I don't have one other like on any of those videos, people didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of came out of nowhere. I came in, was doing the whole show on Facebook, and then I kind of disappeared and just gave you reels. But you always take the time to acknowledge those videos, and I want to tell you thank you so much for that, Crystal. And there's a couple of others who also do that for me. But I definitely recognize Crystal's name. So I just wanted to tell you thank you and encourage you to come and follow the Good News Only Facebook page. Well, that is it for today's birthday wishes. We'll continue tomorrow, and we'll be back with lots of local good news right after the break. Welcome back. So before the break, I said, excuse me, we would get right into our local news, but I just realized during the break that there are only three more names on this list, on this particular list. Okay, are there multiple lists? There's multiple lists of people saying, um, happy birthday to me. So there's just three more names, and so I just want to go through those really quickly. So Miss Sharon Brown says, happy birthday. May your day be as bright as your smile. Well, thank you, friend. I appreciate that, Sharon. And then Jean Bork says, happy birthday to you. Enjoy your special day. And then she sent me this cute little gif of this little man down here who's in a cowboy hat, shirtless, and all oiled up. Thank you. And then Marva D. Jones says, happy birthday. Thank you so much to all my friends out there who are watching and who wished me a happy birthday. Now we'll get into your local news. So lots of great things happening locally that I thought you should know about. And so we're going to start with those watch parties. Now, you know I don't do any sports, but I thought those of you who do would love to hear how it went. So, even in defeat, Illinois State pride was on full display as the Redbirds wrapped up their historic run in the FCS National Championship. Fans gathered at 13 watch parties across Bloomington, Normal, turning local sports into seas of into seas of red. Pub 2 on North Linden Street was packed before kickoff, buzzing with energy from alumni and current students alike. Former Redbird Kyle Avaloy, who played in the championship game back in 2014, says it was just as special as cheering from the stands this time. Alumni reconnected with old friends while current students vowed to stay and cheer until the final whistle, no matter the score. That's awesome. You know, I was watching something, it was probably, I'm sure knowing me, it was like on TikTok or Facebook or something. It was a video, and it was just like a psychologist was explaining the difference between sports fans' brains, how their brains are wired, and people who are not sports fans. It was pretty interesting. We'll have to talk about that another day at another time. We're going to move on with our local news, but it was very interesting that, you know, I'll just say this: the sports fans are people who like to be in groups, right? Like they like to togetherness with other people. So team things, they feel like they're a part of it, especially the way that it's marketed. So that's really good. But so from school spirit to hometown heart, the community pride doesn't stop there. A birthday surprise turned unforgettable for a young Rivermen superfan in Morton. So 7-year-old CJ Krantz, got a visit from his favorite defenseman, Ayo Adonai, who showed up he showed up with much more than birthday wishes. That's so sweet. Look at them. And so Adonai, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering his name. If anybody knows how to say it correctly, please send me an email. I apologize. So he surprised CJ with a full set of hockey gear. He played hockey with him and his friends, and he gifted an autograph stick to him. That's awesome. So CJ's mom says she expected a quick hello, not a life-changing moment for her son. She says the player has gone above and beyond, even helping CJ learn to ice skate and encouraging his dream of playing hockey someday. That's so cool. Can you imagine what that was like for look at that little bitty boy. Can you imagine what that was like for that baby to have somebody that he admires so much doing something that he really wants to do, sit at his dinner table? That's awesome. More awesome things are happening around our community, so we will be right back and go over those things as well. Welcome back. So, a new project is making a big difference locally. Let's take a look at this. Sorry, I didn't mean to play that one. Sorry about that. Okay, so a long awaited milestone became reality as Bloomington officially opened a new shelter village called The Bridge. Home Sweet Home Ministries unveiled the individual style shelters designed for people who haven't found success in traditional housing. Each resident will have their own private space with some double bed units, plus 24/7 staffing and access to support services, which I think is great. CEO Matt Burgess says the timing couldn't be more critical to address the growing need in the community, and leaders expect residents to move in within 1 to 2 weeks. That's awesome, weather permitting, and all available spots are already filled. So that is so good. You know, I was talking to my dad about I think it was a couple days ago. I was talking to him about, or just asking him about some of the veteran activities that happen around town, or if he ever is it how involved he is in them. And one of the things that he mentioned was just some of the burden on his heart that he feels for veterans who are living locally who don't have adequate housing. And I just had to respect where he was coming from. Like, I felt that burden. I can't imagine what it would be like for anybody to be homeless, but then also to be a veteran, to have fought for this country and to come home and end up in a situation where you have no place to live. So stuff like this is amazing. I'm sure it restores some dignity and hope to anyone who is experiencing homelessness. So great job to them. So helping the community also means lending a helping hand in simpler ways, including clearing out after the holidays. My apologies. So as people clean out their closets and storage bins after the holidays, local thrift stores say donations are pouring in. Stores like Adult Teen Challenge in East Peoria say they'll accept most items as long as they're gently used and in good condition. Leaders stress donations should come from smoke-free, pet-free homes, noting broken or dirty items slow down the process. One of the leaders in this video was just talking about how when they get things that they can't use, things that are broken or dirty, she was saying that it's their responsibility then to pay for those things to be disposed of. And she made the point that they are nonprofit, set up to help others in the community who don't have a lot, and so it takes away from those funds. So they need to be wise in how they use them, and it puts more burden on them to receive things that they cannot use. So keep that in mind. Southside Mission says unused items are especially valuable and help keep prices affordable for those who need them most. A good rule of thumb is to donate items you'd be happy to receive yourself. Organizers also recommend checking a thrift store's website or social media to see what items are most needed. That way they can avoid having to spend money on getting rid of things they don't need, or just having things just sit there. So after the break, we are going to discuss another story. It's not so local. That story is a story in California, and it's about a father who is battling an illness and how he reached an inspiring goal that many thought was impossible. Excuse me, I don't know what's happening with my voice. I think it's a little tired. I'll have to have some tea. Maybe we should have tea in the mornings. I'll have some tea and come back. Welcome back. Now, Matt Henry, known as the Imperial Beach Dad, set out to surf 365 waves in 1 year, one for each day of life. He reached that goal by October. Then he kept going, ultimately surfing more than 1,000 waves. Henry says the challenge symbolized surviving after year, beyond his original life expectancy. So, again, he has a rare brain tumor and it's terminal. Along the way, he's traveled the country with his wife and 6 kids, surfing everywhere from rivers to sand dunes. That's awesome. Despite setbacks, including seizures from the tumor while surfing, Henry credits perseverance, positivity, and family support for carrying him through. What I loved about this, I loved that he did this with his kids and his wife. I thought that was amazing. What stuck out to me was, oh my gosh, the feeling of just like dread that sets up in me, when I think about her having to be a single mother to 6 children. In the event that he does pass, I know they said it's terminal, but I want to hope for the best. Maybe he won't. He survived this long. But that it's just so sad. But to see how positive they all are, enjoying the time that they have right now together, it's really heartwarming. And I just cannot. I'm just so shocked at how positive he is. But they always talk about people who have terminal illnesses, how some people are healed, and others' lives are extended because of their mindset, how positive they are, and the effects that it has on the body, and healing it, and just refusing to sit down, refusing to just lay down and die. The will of the human spirit is something amazing. So I'm happy for them, and I'm sending them all of my prayers. This is a very, very touching story. So if you have a chance, you should watch it. If anybody really wants to see it, then I will run it tomorrow with sound. But it was a really, really inspiring story, really sweet. So our next story is about a main vehicle repair shop and how it's been hiding a remarkable secret. So a massive model train village was tucked away upstairs in the shop. The second floor of Stone's Auto Truck Service houses an intricate layout built over decades by Frank Bridges. The display features 12 steam engines, 11 diesel engines, and 82 working switches, all woven through detailed scenes. That's so cool. Every station tells a story, from hunting camps to playful animals. Each piece is built and placed by hand. That is amazing. After Briggs passed away last fall, owner David Stone, who was his friend, added a small memorial and decided to open the exhibit to the public. The model train is now open every Sunday afternoon to the public, with hopes of building community of train enthusiasts. Viewers can also follow the project online on Facebook under Mid-Coast HO Trains on Facebook. We will be back after the break.